it took me 3 weeks to send out a newsletter, and it did not need to take me 3 weeks. And I was just trying to send it out the following week. What the fuck happened? So this was really about overthinking and a new light. What what causes overthinking to begin with is a lack of action, and a la- or yeah is a lack of or what creates overthinking is a lack of action. If it's kind of like if you're thirsty, it's already too late. You're already slightly dehydrated. You actually want to hydrate a little bit, like regularly, so that you don't get thirsty, right? Yeah, this is like basic like outdoor sports 101, right? So if you if you're overthinking, then it's too late. You haven't taken enough action. Now, in my case, when I was writing my newsletter, I what my particular thing was I wanted to make it good. I got too stuck on making it good. The thing is, as like when to especially people in creative fields, and you're starting something new, it can be really easy to fall into that trap where you want it to be good. And the problem with that is you are basing an outcome on your satisfaction. And the problem with that is you can't control the outcome. You can't. Yes, you can. There are certain things or certain variables you control in order to make it good. But ultimately, make it good is just it's just another way of another method of perfectionism. It's just another form of perfectionism where you're just trying to hold yourself to this weird standard that this weird vague standard that you probably aren't going to be able to reach. So what happens? You think you make it good, so you put all this unnecessary pressure on yourself. What does that create? Anxiety. Anxiety is usually the thing that creates procrastination, which only creates more anxiety, which creates overthinking, and thus you never get anything fucking done, anything meaningful, because you want to do all this cool shit, but that just starts with doing shit, and it's probably gonna be shit. So when especially when you're a beginner and you're starting anything new, like you're learning a skill, or when you are, I don't know, in being an entrepreneur or whatever the fuck, it really detach yourself from the outcome. And what I like to say is let completion in itself be the reward. So when you're out there and you want to, like when you're out there and you want to, I don't know, let's just say in my case that you want to write a newsletter, just one issue. Well, okay, then how about instead of like, especially in the beginning, like, okay, how about instead of like making this splash drop hit, which again, that shit doesn't happen. Like, as much as it's cool to see like the splashing hit, that doesn't that's not only is that rare, it's usually because the artist has been in it for a very, very long time leading up to that. So it's just you just see that it comes out as a big hit. But to the rest of us mortals who are just starting out, it's not going to happen, right? Like it's maybe it's some form of fatalism, but just go in assuming that whatever it is that you're going to put out is going to be dog shit. It is. I mean, you have no reference for what like good and what shit is, anyways. So like, it doesn't make sense to let the quality of what you put out the be your metric of success, right? And again, like this is like a moving goalpost. As you get better, like your definition of success is going to also move as your skills, or is also going to progress alongside your skills. So if you're in the beginning and you're starting something new, like instead of making it outcome based, right, or like at least quality of the outcome as a metric of success, why don't you just make the completion in itself be the reward? So instead of being, okay, I want to make this newsletter great, instead think, okay, I want to get out my first newsletter. That's it. All right. And obviously, I'm not saying go and purposely make it garbage or something. What I'm saying is do your best and whatever, and nothing more than that, right? Do your best and nothing more than that. Because look, I think we can go into that vase thing, that clay pottery thing. It was a class taught at a college, and so and they were teaching them pottery, and then he split the class into two, And he told one group, okay, for the rest of the semester, I want you guys to focus on making one perfect, some sort of like pot. It's one perfect clay pot. And the second group, he said, I want you to make as many clay pots as you possibly can. And at the end of the semester, who do you think got better at making clay pots? The second group, right? So you just in the beginning, like all you really want to do is just focus on completing the task. And so what I would recommend, what I did, right, when I was writing my newsletter is, okay, I set this timer for 35 minutes and I I will just do the newsletter and boom, whatever I get done, right? So that's that's what's called, instead of outcome based goal setting, right? Where you're like, okay, I want to hit 1,000 followers in 3 weeks. Instead of like outcome based, now we're output based. We're doing input based, where it's like, okay, if I just commit to doing 30 minutes per day, that's my goal. I'm going to do 30 minutes per day. Or if I want to do 10 push-ups per day, that's also input based and also output in a way, right? But that's one of the best things that helped me as a beginner was you don't, it doesn't make any fucking sense as a beginner to hold yourself to this standard of making it good, right? It makes zero sense. Like be fucking kind to yourself, man. Like it like you literally, like it's a form, and in my opinion it's a form of like a lack of self-love, right? Like have some self-love, be okay with you sucking at it, right? Like you don't yell at a baby that's stumbling learning how to walk, right? You don't tell the baby, oh, you're dumb, you're never going to be able to walk ever in your life, right? You never say that. Nobody fucking says that to a baby. And yet and every but single fucking one of us are walking, right? Every single, unless you're like severely disabled or you were born with some sort of defect at birth. But for the most part, every single human being learned how to walk because nobody told them as a kid when they stumbled around that, oh, you know what, maybe walking isn't for you. See, like this kind of expands out to like a broader thing in society in general. Like there's a lot of things, there's a lot of kind of voices that you've kind of downloaded it into your head from parents, from bosses, from teachers, from these authorities who claim to know what they're talking about, say, oh well, maybe this is just not for you. And so you go with that, you run with that narrative in your head, and it's been running on repeat for all your entire life, and you just think, oh, I got to be this certain way. I got to be that way. I got to be, oh, I'm introverted. Oh, well, then I got to act the part. I got to be introverted. Right. So I know that was like kind of a heavy tangent, right? We're just talking about like writing your own thing. But, that's really what that comes from, right? Is like you don't want, you want to make it good, not because you want to make it good. You want to make it good because you're afraid of what people will think if it's not good. Right. So I really would urge you, if you're starting something new, if you're starting to learn a new skill, some like dance, or maybe you are getting into this game like I am, like content creating slash entrepreneurship slash online business, well then you really gotta like I really frame it as like you're a kid again and you're just playing with your toys, right? Without a care in the world. Like what do people do when they see a kid playing with toys? He's just a kid playing with his toys. And you probably don't even think about what other people are thinking, right? So yeah, that's, instead of like, you know, so yeah, that like if you want to live like a really good life or like a meaningful life, you're gonna have to go out and you're gonna have to look like a fucking buffoon sometimes, right? You're gonna have to look like, what the fuck is he doing? He is a failure. He fucked up. He's throwing his life away. You know, you very well might have to go through that. And look, I don't know what my word means. I don't even know. I mean, nobody's really even going to watch this thing to begin with. So I mean, so like that's why I put these videos out. Is like I want to do this YouTube thing, but like there's no pressure on myself. I don't give a shit. Like I'm just gonna put these videos out. Nobody's probably gonna watch them. That's fine. And I literally just hit record. There's no script. There's no nothing. I don't even really know what I'm gonna talk about in the middle of it. I just kind of just start talking. So look, when you're starting something new, again, don't think of it as like, I gotta make it good, I gotta make it amazing, and it's gonna have all these things. No, 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 no. Look, all that matters in the beginning is that you do the thing and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And then somewhere along the way, you look back and you're like, oh, fuck, I've gotten a whole lot better. And you just keep doing that. You keep running that. You keep going on that forever until you quit, right? Until you stop, until you've had enough, right? Like Mr. Beast says, like if you're not cringing at your stuff from 6 months ago, you're not learning enough. You're not learning fast enough. So, yeah, have a little bit of kindness for yourself and allow yourself the space to be able to to be able to do these things and to be able to make all the mistakes that you need to make in order to get to level up. That's it.